At Introduction to Realistic Fiction. We have already learned about this earlier this year, so this should be a refresher for you. Let's go ahead and get started. So, realistic fiction tells a made up story that could be real. It has characters, events that seem real, and a setting. The setting of a story tells when and where the story happens. Text and illustrations can help you understand the setting. The setting is important. It can affect how characters act. In this story, the setting is a cottage by the sea. The character Anna is happy because this morning she will walk to the beach. So let's go ahead and read the little story at the bottom. It says Anna and her sister were staying in a seaside cottage with Grandma for the whole summer. This morning, the three of them were walking to the beach to find shells for Anna's collection. Anna couldn't wait to get started. So let's go back and take a look. So over to the left, it says where in purple, and it has something highlighted in purple. It has in a seaside cottage. So that tells me where the story took place, in a seaside cottage. Next, it has the words when in orange. Then it has a few words highlighted, summer and this morning. So I know the time when it happened. Happened during the summer and it happened this morning. And then next, there's another place, another setting, the beach. So let's go ahead and take a look at realistic fiction anchor chart. We're going to just go over a few things that tell us exactly what we will find in a realistic fiction. So, of course, we'll have characters. Then we'll have a setting. It'll tell us where the story happens, and it will tell us when it happens. The setting can affect what the characters do. So, for example, if it's sunny outside, in the story, those characters could be going outside. Then they have another example of a cloud with rain. So, if it's raining outside, more than likely our characters are not going to go outside. Okay? Then we will also have events. And then they showed you those two examples. So remember, we'll have our characters, we'll have our setting, and we'll have our events. Next, we're going to talk about our read aloud. So today you're going to be reading How Many Stars in the Sky. This is a book that we have already read. For those of you that were here earlier this year, if you weren't here, that's okay too. This will be a book that you read for the first time. Also, if you've forgotten about it, here's a good little refresher. It's a really great book. It's by Lenny Hort, paintings by James E. Ransom. This is a realistic fiction. Remember, realistic fiction is something that could happen to you. So let's just take a look at the characters. I see a dad, a son, and a dog. So there's something that's going to happen, and the title's How Many Stars in the Sky? So I'll just give you a second to take some predictions on what you think could happen. Now we're going to go over vocabulary. We're going to preview the words that we're going to see frequently throughout the book. So as you're reading, you're going to look for these 4 words. You're going to look for the words backyard, treehouse, searchlights, and daylight. So I've noticed something about all 4 of these words. All 4 of these words are compound words, meaning they are 2 words put together. So if I wanted to look at the very first word, backyard, there are 2 words that can stand on their own. Back can be by itself, and yard can be by itself. The same thing with tree and house. The same thing with search and lights. And lastly, day and light. So first, you're going to look at the pictures. Just like we did with the title, we're going to just look at the cover page. We just looked at the picture. Then you're going to ask yourself questions about the stories you're reading. You're going to make some predictions. You're going to make a prediction, and then when you go and read and find out, then you're going to say, was my prediction correct or incorrect? Then you're going to read to understand the story. We're not going to just read and go through it. I want you to really understand what's happening, because the end of the week, you're going to take a comprehension assignment over the story. Then lastly, you're going to talk about the story with a partner. So you can talk about with the sibling, with the parent, with the cousin, with someone who you're with. Then you will go ahead and read the story after this. You'll go on to Pearson using the link, and you will put in the comments that you turned in your assignment.